Imagine a cryptocurrency that takes crypto rollups to the next level, offering high security, interoperability, and decentralization. This is where AltLayer comes in. AltLayer, also known by the market ticker ALT, is an open and decentralized protocol for rollups which facilitates the launch of native and restaked rollups with both optimistic and ZK rollup stacks. But what exactly is a rollup? A rollup is a layer 2 scaling solution for blockchains that processes multiple transactions away from the main blockchain to reduce transaction costs and congestion on the main chain. On the other hand, a restaked rollup is a new design that solves challenges related to decentralization, security, and interoperability faced by normal rollups. At its core, AltLayer is an open and decentralized protocol for rollups and the pioneer of restaked rollups, which takes existing rollups and provides them with enhanced security, decentralization, interoperability, and a fast transaction finality. But what exactly does this all mean, and how does AltLayer work? AltLayer was founded by Yaochi in 2021, with Yaochi having previously been a co-founder of the blockchain Zilliqa. In short, AltLayer is a protocol for launching and scaling rollups which are layer 2 solutions for both EVM and non-EVM compatible blockchains. For clarity, EVM compatible refers to compatibility with the Ethereum network and non-EVM compatible refers to blockchains that do not adhere to the standards and specifications set by Ethereum's EVM for running smart contracts or decentralized applications, but instead run their own versions. Typically, they often use different programming languages, have different consensus mechanisms, or differ in their architectural designs. A good example would be Polkadot, which runs smart contracts and decentralized applications but does not obey the standards set by Ethereum. AltLayer equips both EVM and non-EVM chains with an on-demand execution layer that can handle surges in processing transaction requests. Ultimately, this allows for a better overall user experience while also minimizing fees and avoiding congestion on the main Layer 1 blockchain. To achieve this, AltLayer pioneered restaked rollups, which combines the ease of using a pre-made rollup stack such as from OP-Stack, Arbitrum Orbit, ZK Stack, Polygon CDK, and others, and combining this with EigenLayer's restaking mechanism to increase network security. But that leads us to the question: how does this all work? AltLayer is a proof-of-stake based Layer 2 application that sits on top of its Layer 1 parent to assist with the processing of transaction data. For context, Layer 1 blockchains are usually the foundation from which everything else is built, meaning a Layer 2 application sits on top of the Layer 1 to aid in a specific task, which in the case of AltLayer is to help process transactions. This means AltLayer leverages most of its parent network's features, but the Layer 1 still must check the work Layer 2s like AltLayer provide to ensure accuracy. So how is this quicker than the parent network just verifying the transactions itself? In short, because AltLayer rolls up multiple transactions into one bundle, which only requires one verification for the entire bundle to be verified. This is where restaked rollups come into play. So what makes AltLayer unique? AltLayer believes the future involves a world where thousands of rollups work in tandem, with some designed for general purpose tasks such as Arbitrum One, Optimism Mainnet, or ZK Sync, and others designed for application-specific use cases built using modular stacks. As an example, one rollup could be built using Arbitrum Orbit while using Arbitrum One as the data availability and the settlement layer, while another could be built using ZK Stack using Celestia as the data availability layer and Ethereum as the settlement layer. However, AltLayer's most unique offering are restaked rollups, which are a set of 3 vertically integrated, actively validated services or AVS created on demand for a given rollup that works with any underlying rollup stack. In short, these actively validated services work together to offer 3 key services to rollups. These are the verification of rollup state correctness, providing faster finality, and decentralized sequencing. These are provided via 3 of AltLayer's modular components known as Vital, which is the AVS for decentralized verification of rollup state, Gate, MAC, which is the AVS for fast finality, and finally Squad, which is the AVS for decentralized sequencing. Built on top of this protocol, AltLayer also offers a versatile, no-code rollups as a service that allows developers or anyone even with little to no coding experience to load up a customized rollup within 2 minutes and deploy them live. The Rollups as a Service is designed for a multi-chain and a multi-VM ecosystem and also supports multiple different rollup software development kits such as OPStack, Arbitrum Orbit, Polygon ZK EVM, and ZK Syncs, ZK Stack, and Starkware. Another key innovation that AltLayer brings to the rollup design space is the idea of ephemeral rollups. To explain, ephemeral rollups are a highly resource-optimized rollup that gives developers the best of an application-specific rollup and a general-purpose Layer 1. With ephemeral rollups, an app developer expecting an increase in demand for their application could enable multiple approaches to deal with the incoming traffic. For example, the developer could either quickly spin up a fast and scalable application-tailored rollup secured by a Layer 1 or use the rollup for as long as needed before then disposing of the rollup by doing an end-of-life settlement on the Layer 1. But how about the tokenomics? Like most proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies, Alt can be used for the classics of payments, staking, and governance. In total, there will only ever be 10 billion ALT tokens, of which less than 20% have been unlocked according to their vesting schedule. The total length of the vesting schedule is 4 years, and by January 2028, the total supply will have been distributed as follows. 20% will have gone towards protocol development, 18.5% towards the treasury, another 18.5% to investors, 15% towards the ecosystem and community, 15% to the team, and 5% towards advisors. Additionally, there is also a further 5% which has already gone towards the Binance Launch Pool and a final 3% which was given away in the airdrop, both of which are fully unlocked with no vesting period. In short, the AltLayer protocol aims to save time and money for developers and provide a lightning-fast service for the end users. If you want a fully complete, already coded rollup, their SDK libraries will have you covered. But if you also want to integrate AltLayer services with other rollup alternatives, they allow you the freedom to mix and match as well. AltLayer appears to have provided a fully modular, high interoperable scaling solution that can integrate with multiple platforms and other existing rollup solutions. Consequently, barring any major mishaps in management, it seems likely AltLayer's best days still lay ahead, though, as always, nothing is ever guaranteed in crypto, of course. If you like to know how to create an AltLayer wallet, check out my article in the description below, and if you like this video, I am sure you will like this one too.